What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the 10-7 MMA. I'm DS, and I'm here with my favorite guy, Dino Bam Bam.
That's really nice of you.
Isn't it?
I would love to say you're my favorite guy, but...
No, that's fine. You don't need to say it back. I said it from my heart.
That's nice. So I really appreciate that.
Anytime, my friend. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. We got the little holiday setup behind us for...
Yeah, I was going to say... is it too early? November 15th.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But it happened.
You think it should be December 1st?
I think post-Thanksgiving.
Post-Thanksgiving? Perfect. Yeah. I agree.
Black Friday, that Saturday, I think that's the time to do it. It just happened that way.
Yeah. It does look very nice. We need to name him probably at some point.
Yeah, but we'll find a name.
We'll figure it out.
Why don't you guys let us know what we should name him? We'll do a little poll on YouTube.
Yep.
And actually on Instagram, the107MMA. While you're checking us out on Instagram, you should obviously follow us. You should also click the little subscribe button. Dino, can you ring the bell for them? That's the sound the bell makes. There's a bell there. Click it. It does that. That lets you subscribe to us. We gained some new subscribers this week. It's been a hell of a week for the 10-7 MMA. Obviously, let's dive into that really quickly.
Just briefly.
So last Saturday, as we know, was UFC 295. My boy Yuri Prochazka. He was stopped by Alex Pereira. Mm-hmm. I felt some sort of way about it a couple drinks in. I still feel that way. I'm going to stick to my guns. And
yeah, I just want to say.
Yeah.
Your outburst was your own?
It was my own outburst.
Yeah. Oh, my phone is here. I don't know.
That's fine.
It's there, but I'm sorry. Your outburst was your own.
Right.
I didn't necessarily disagree. I think you made some good points.
Yeah.
But,
whatever.
It is what it is. We don't have to get into all that.
And here's what I'm saying. I'm sticking to my guns. So we've had a lot of people attacking me for it. I'm cool with that. I'm down for the discourse.
190-something comments last time I checked.
That video will be linked for you guys if you haven't seen it. But it got seen by a lot of people pretty damn quickly. Mm-hmm. After that, we got to do some other cool shit this week. We got to meet Patricky Pitbull.
That was awesome.
And Captain Eric Albarracin.
That was awesome.
We did an interview with them. I will also link that for you guys down there.
That was sick.
Patricky signed this for us.
Patricky's awesome.
Patricky Pitbull.
Captain Eric is awesome.
Fun dudes. We're going to drink what's that, cachoeira or whatever the fuck that drink's? Shout out Priscilla Cachoeira, but what's the drink called?
She's got a fight book.
I know, I saw that actually.
Cachaça.
Cachaça. We're going to find a bottle of that.
I found the good shit. There's 4 bottles left in Illinois.
Oh, we're going to
we got to go get that. Yeah.
We're getting one of them. We're passing it out to them. Hell of a week. Hell of a week, brother.
Hell of a week, but switching gears into this week, we do have quite a lengthy, I think we have 14 fights on the docket. UFC Fight Night, Vegas, 82. Anything else before we dive right into this?
No, I mean, shit. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get right into it, man. First fight of the night, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Dennis Tululin. I believe this was a late addition to the card. Don't know why it needed it, but hey, it's not a bad fight. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, so it wasn't a late addition. It was a change-up. It was supposed to be...
Tululin short notice.
Yes, Tululin short notice. Christian Leroy Duncan was supposed to fight Cesar Almeida, who's the kickboxer we saw on Dancing with the Stars, Dana White's Contender Series. That's the guy that fought Alex Pereira a bunch of times. He has infection
from surgery. That's messed up. Okay. Wishing him well.
So that's what happened. Anyways, Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD, he won his debut against Duško Todorovic. Duško got hurt in that fight very early, tore his knee, really bad knee injury.
Bad.
So we didn't get to see too much of Christian Leroy Duncan in that one, which is unfortunate. Came back 3 months later, fought Armin Petrosian. Like I said, he was supposed to fight Cesar Almeida here. Almeida had to pull out, so now we're stuck with Tululin. I know that sounds shitty. That's not how I meant it, but we got Dennis Tululin.
Yeah. I think Dennis Tululin's not a bad fighter.
He's not a bad fighter at all, but Christian Leroy Duncan is a finisher, high-level striker, ton of power. He's fast on the feet. He does get brawly as hell sometimes to his own detriment. He can get sloppy. He likes to throw really flashy strikes. That's the fun in Christian Leroy Duncan.
Yes.
It's the flash and the power. Last time out, he lost to Armin Petrosian, and it was because Armin Petrosian, a high-level kickboxer, was able to keep it very technical and just kind of win that way. So he needs to fix some things. Dennis Tululin here, a striker as well, another guy who is down to get brawly in exchange. Solid power, decent chin. When he does get his finishes, they're TKOs. They're not like that one-shot knockout. He doesn't really have that power. On the ground, he really has nothing. That's the biggest problem for Dennis Tululin. I don't necessarily expect this fight to get to the ground. It's going to be beneficial for Christian Leroy Duncan to take it there if he's able to. On the feet, we've seen good power from him. I think with a short notice, a short camp here for Tululin, it's probably bad news for him. I'm taking Christian Leroy Duncan by knockout in the first.
Yeah, You pretty much broke it down. To me, CLD is faster, has a much wider array of strikes. I do expect him to be able to keep distance from Tallulah. And, if he gets brawly, I think that's not going to be a good game plan for him in this one. I expect him to land good leg kicks, good body kicks. Tallulah taking on short notice, props to him, and it's obviously versus a tough striker, so the short notice thing could come into play here. I don't see this going to the ground either, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, for me, in a stand-up fight, Christian Leroy Duncan is the better fighter. I do think that he was exposed in terms of his long-term prospect. Armin Petrosian's really good.
Yeah.
I do think that some of that luster was taken off after that fight a little bit. He did okay, but, And then the other thing for me, too, is Dennis Tallulah coming off a brutal knockout versus G-Rod.
Mm-hmm.
So, short notice, coming off a knockout against a dangerous striker. I actually don't think he'll get a finish. I believe Dennis Tallulah is pretty tough, but I do see a pretty comfortable 30-27 decision and what could end up being a close fight. But I see Christian Leroy Duncan winning it fairly easily.
So we agree on the first.
We agree on the first one, my friend. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Lucas Alexander taking on Jeka Saragih.
Is that a yo boy?
No, it's not a my boy. He is really fun. I'll give you that. But definitely not a my boy. Yeah, I mean, listen, for me, the MMA math do be mathing when you have certain circumstances, right? For me, the fact that, what was it? The Road to the UFC tournament, the Asian tournament that they had, there was really only one or two guys that were actually pretty good on there. So for me, Jeka Saragih lost pretty easily to Anshul Jubli in the final, I want to say.
Shout out
Anshul Jubli. For me, you lost pretty easily to him, and then Mike Breeden just embarrassed Anshul Jubli.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, when it's such a clearly they want an extra market, right, through some of these fighters. I feel like that's why they're putting on the tournament. So for me, I don't know that Jeka Saragih necessarily belongs in the UFC, quite frankly. Lucas Alexander is very composed as a fighter. I wasn't huge on him, but I'm getting a little bit better on him. He's very composed. He's able to stay out of the way. And for me, with Jeka, his biggest strength, I guess, let's say, is his unpredictability, right? He's going to throw some crazy shit. But for me, Lucas Alexander is the exact kind of fighter that should be able to stay out of the way of that. Very composed, good movement on the feet. I feel like his striking is getting a little bit better too. For me, I'm going to go Lucas Alexander by late second round TKO in this one.
Cool. So to me, Lucas Alexander just pops more on tape. So I do agree with you. I think he looks more the part than Jeka Saragih does. I think he's also fought the better competition, to be fair.
No question. No question.
Yeah, I think if he uses his grappling, he's better there. He's definitely sharper on the feet. He should win this fight so long as he stays away from the big power of Jeka Saragih, like just one big shot. You know what I'm saying? If he could stay away from that, I agree with you.
I don't know how much power it really is, though.
I know, but he does throw. He throws big. You know what I'm saying?
He throws crazy stuff.
But, so if he could stay away from that, I think he should win. I agree wholeheartedly with you. I'm going Alexander KO in the second. I think we're going to see a skill gap in this one.
I think very clearly.
Yeah.
Definitely. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Charles Johnson. Is that your boy?
Yeah, bro. I'll still stick with it.
Okay.
I'll stick with it.
All right. We've got your boy Charles Johnson taking on Rafael Estevam. He is making his UFC debut.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one?
All right. Charles Energy Johnson. Literally the first note I have written is still a my boy.
Okay. There you go.
Still
I'm glad I asked.
But he does make it difficult,
He does.
That's the comma. He still makes it difficult. We thought he was on a roll after he beat Zalgas and then Jimmy Flick and then 2 losses and decisions to Ode Osborne and Cody Durden. We don't know who the real Charles Johnson is. And that's the biggest problem. He's very active, good output, good cardio, good pace. He's good defensively on the feet. He's fast on the ground. We know he's pretty damn good. He seems very well-rounded. He just never ties it all together.
Yeah.
It's like the inconsistency.
Makes some weird decisions sometimes and then...
Absolutely.
I don't know, lacks that, fight.
There's something missing with Charles Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Is it a killer instinct?
I think it might be something like that.
It might be something like that, but then, man, we see him against Zalgas, and he's stomping his foot when it's dead, and he's just, going to war.
That's his favorite move, and nut shots, too.
There we go. Really weird dude, though. I don't know what the real Charles Johnson is.
Yeah. When you got a little puff at the end of, You know, like with his haircut.
Oh yeah,
he got the little puff in the back.
You don't like that?
It's cool. I could actually rock that hairstyle. I could actually grow it out. Yeah,
that's fine. That's like one of few things.
Yeah,
one of a few things that you can do.
Damn, if I rock that, do you think people would just be like, "Oh, that's just how he wears it"?
I think if you rock that and then we get you some cauliflower ear, you look like an intimidating chap.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
But yeah, he also doesn't have like one shot KO power, which is a big thing.
Certainly not.
We did see him drop. Who was it? Was it Jimmy Flick that he dropped? He cracked him pretty hard. Jimmy the Brick Flick. Anyways, Charles Johnson needs this win to save his job, I think. He's finding the undefeated Brazilian coming to us.
You think so? I feel like he's a guy that's just gonna
just stick around.
He's just gonna be there.
He's on a 2-fight losing streak.
He's still 13-5. And he puts up a decent fight against.
I think he deserves to be in the UFC.
I think so too.
I think a win would be huge for him here.
And
on a 2-fight losing streak.
He gave Makayev an okay fight, and then Ode Osborne's pretty good. That's our guy. And then Cody Durden. I mean, they're not terrible losses. I mean,
he's fighting solid guys. Anyways, 2-fight losing streak. You never want to be on a 3-fight losing streak in the UFC. I guess I'll put it that way. Fighting Rafael Estevam, undefeated Brazilian coming to us from Dancing with the Stars, Dana White's Contender Series, but last year, and he's making his UFC debut now. He had 2 fights that fell out.
Why is that?
I have no idea what happened. He had 2 fights that fell out earlier this year, so hopefully we get to see him this time, and there's no pullout, and there's no whatever the case is. Pause. Yeah, anyways, he's a grappler. He throws heavy as hell to get the takedowns. He's solid in the clinch, good trips, good drags. He has really good submission skills. To me, this comes down to a few things. I think on the feet, Charles Johnson's the better fighter. I think he's more sound. I'll put it that way. On the ground, Estevam is definitely more dangerous, but Charles Johnson does do a good job in the ground game with the scrambles and getting up. He gets up. Every time he gets taken down, he gets up. He's that kind of dude. He's really active, man. I feel like a lot of this fight takes place on the feet. I feel like a lot of this fight takes place in the clinch. So for that, I'm trusting Charles Johnson to outpoint Estevam, get a decision win, save his job potentially, and take this guy's O.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is always going to be a close one. Do you know the odds on this one? Do you mind looking that up for me?
Sure.
But, yeah, by the way, Estevam is the Shuto flyweight champ.
That's pretty cool.
And he has a jiu-jitsu tattoo. Yeah. So, those things speak a lot of volumes to me. And he's also pretty tall. He's very tall for the division. I think he's only an inch shorter than Charles Johnson. But yeah, Charles Johnson, he's okay, right? I mean, there was a time when I thought he was going to be pretty good.
Minus 125. Estevam plus 105 coming back.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, this is a tough one for me, man, because I think Rafael is going to want to take this to the ground, and I do think that he gets there. Have you seen, I'm sure you've watched this tape at this point. His ground and pound, doesn't look that strong, but he, just gets it off. He just touches you on the ground, which is, so weird to me. You know what I mean? But I kind of see that happening. Charles Johnson just kind of being held on the ground. Not a lot going on. I see a pretty boring fight in this one, to be quite honest with you. But, yeah, eventually I see Estevam getting it down to the feet, even if he maybe loses the first round on the feet. But, yeah, I think this one for sure goes to decision, and I think ultimately Estevam will get it. But, yeah, this is a really close one. This might be, the closest fight on the card for me. I went back and forth, but, yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes when you're in doubt, you just got to pick against Charles Johnson.
I feel that. Trust me, I feel that.
You know what I mean?
It's
you're well, if I'm already here, thinking about it.
Right, if I'm dropping money.
Right, and I don't think that I would on that one. The odds just, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Estevam also undefeated for what it's worth. So, anyway, moving on to the next fight of the night. It's Chad Anheliger out of Canada taking on Jose Johnson.
Cool.
This is an interesting fight, right? For me, I just don't think Chad Anheliger is really all that good. I think he's very hittable. We last saw Jose Johnson when he was getting twistered.
Yeah.
In the 3rd or 4th ever twister in the UFC for a finish by Damon Blackshear. But Damon Blackshear showed us that he's just a monster, taking another fight.
He's really good.
2 weeks out, he's really good. He's a beast. So I think even though that loss was very recent, I think it already looks better than it did. And who the hell expects to be caught in a twister, really? Johnson has a massive reach advantage. This is going to look comical, I feel like, on screen. So because he's got I want to say a 7-inch reach advantage. Am I wrong on that?
He's a big dude.
He's got a 7-inch.
Long-bodied.
He's got a 7.5-inch reach advantage, and he's got a 6-inch height advantage. So just massive height advantage. Anheliger is already pretty hittable. Jose Johnson's pretty good, man. Yeah. So, he has some nice finishes. To me, I mean, just a more impressive record overall. And, yeah, I just think the size difference is going to be big. The only way I could see Anheliger really winning this would be to wrestle. I don't see him really even being better there, to be quite honest with you. So I just don't see a way for him to win this straight up. I'm going to go by second round. I'm going to go Jose Johnson by second round sub after dropping him to the ground.
Okay, so Chad Anheliger, 12-6. He hasn't fought in about 14 months.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. Alatong Haley 14 months ago. It's been a while since we've seen him in the cage. So
he got rocked in that one.
I just want to add, there could be ring rust, right?
Sure.
That's a thing. I fully believe this fight does stay on the feet, going back to what you were saying. And I've been a fan of Jose Johnson since I saw him in the LFA and in Fury. Like, the dude's legit. I think he was a champion in Fury, right? Not the LFA. It was one or the other. I believe in him. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Jose Johnson, KO round 2.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think KO, though? You think he puts him out straight on the feet?
I think it's TKO. I think he drops him, ground and pound, a couple shots, and
okay.
God forbid Mark Goddard's there, and this is a title fight, and it would have been stopped 4 months ago.
You just had to.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next fight of the night, and this is an interesting one. I'm curious to see what you have to say about this one. It's Jonathan Pearce, JSP, taking on Joanderson, Brito. What do you think about this one?
All right, JSP. First and foremost, I just want to talk about his tattoo. He has that like chest tattoo. It looks like a battery. Is that what it is?
I don't know what it is.
It really trips me out, and like to me, he's the dude with the battery.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways, JSP, great wrestler, as we know, great pace, good sub skills, high motor. Really good ground and pound. On the feet, he does play a very risky game. He's willing to trade and get brawly as hell, but we know ultimately he really just wants this fight to go to the ground.
JSP?
Yeah, GSP.
Yeah. Huh?
JSP.
JSP.
Shout out GSP.
Shout out.
Yeah, if it was GSP, yeah.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, and his takedown defense for a guy that's a good wrestler is meh. Kind of like, I guess he's like willing to get to, go to the ground.
Maybe that's part of it, yeah.
Right. And similar to Joanderson Brito, that's another guy who's a grappler with like bad takedown defense.
Yep.
So this fight, I believe, will go to the ground. Joanderson Brito, he's really athletic, really good sub skills as well. On the feet, he's wild as dog shit.
He's nuts.
He's not one of those like jujitsu nerds that's just like, oh, let's just get down there and figure it out.
No, he's absolutely swinging.
Yeah, he's aggressive as hell.
And he's got power.
Yeah, so both of these dudes are pretty damn wild on the feet. Not similar strikers, but both pretty wild and aggressive.
Brito's just a much better athlete.
Yeah, he's definitely way more
explosive.
So to me, I think they're more. I think they're similar. I think Brito does have the better power on the feet, but I think Pearce, what he's going to want to do, his game plan is going to be take this down to the ground immediately. This fight will get to the ground, and at that point, who are we trusting? I'm going to stick with the guy that I think is going to be in the top position, and that's JSP. So I think he gets a takedown early. I think he's going to hold it there. There is the chance, Dino, that this goes horribly wrong for him and he gets absolutely flatlined. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's a real possibility. That's a very real
possibility. And like you said, he is hittable.
He's hittable.
This is not a guy that you want to be hittable against.
No, I don't want to be touched by him. So I'm going to go with JSP. I think he's going to get a sub very late in round 1, maybe round 2. But he might really get clipped and get flatlined.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward for JSP. Also, do you sometimes feel like we give him like more love because of the JSP moniker? Exactly, yeah.
Maybe the name, and then like he just reminds me like
he is super well rounded.
To me, I don't know why I make this connection, but he just kind of feels like a Bryce Mitchell kind of guy to me.
Really?
But then he's way more aggressive than Bryce Mitchell.
Way more aggressive and way better on the feet.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like every time I watch him fight, I'm thinking Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah.
But then I get like this aggressive ass dude. I'm like, damn, like this guy's pretty. And he looks good when he wins.
He does.
Like, I don't know. Maybe we do give him too much credit, but that's all he's got.
No, he's good everywhere.
Yeah.
He's good everywhere. He's really good. It's like, why did he take Darren Elkins to a decision, though?
Darren Elkins is raw.
Darren Elkins is a great wrestler, too. So I don't know. How good is his wrestling really? Because Darren Elkins was getting the best of the wrestling exchanges at times in that. I mean, I wouldn't say it was like a crazy competitive fight, but, So for me, I feel like he should be finishing Darren Elkins. It's pretty straightforward here.
5-1 in the UFC, by the way.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But for me, Joanderson Brito is an absolute Tasmanian devil level, just chaos causing ass madman in there.
Devil level.
And he's got just crazy power. He's super explosive. It's straightforward for me. He's gonna come out hot as hell. JSP, I don't think it's in his best interest to be super aggressive to start this fight. I think he just needs to survive. If he can get it to the ground in the first round, that would be a major win for him.
Yeah,
that would be a major win for him because then you're draining the cardio of Joanderson Brito. Somebody like Joanderson Brito is not gonna have a crazy amount of cardio. Like we've seen him gas out a little bit. It's just not. Like you can't it's like when you're putting up stats and like you have a certain template of fighter or basketball player, whatever, when you're creating a guy. Yeah. Like when you have the template of Joanderson Brito, you just can't put your cardio up that high.
Yeah, it just like caps out.
It caps out at like 70.
And he's only 28.
Yeah.
He looks like 37.
He does. He looks like he's been through some shit.
Yeah.
But if he can, listen, if the fight can go if it makes it to a third round, I think for sure JSP is winning. This is another close fight, no question. For me, I do think that Joanderson Brito is gonna find that shot. Mm-hmm. I'll say in the first round, like middle to end of the first round.
Yeah.
If it gets to the ground, major win for JSP. And but for now, I guess I'll take the underdog and Joanderson Brito to find a vicious knockout.
I don't mind
and
that.
I think this is the guy to give him his first loss.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's
not his first. His second loss in the UFC.
Yeah,
I apologize.
His first loss in a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, wait, what did you just say?
His first loss in a while?
What did you say before that?
I said I don't mind the odds of a quick knockout.
Yeah.
I think that is a real possibility in this fight.
Yep.
It's a dangerous dude here.
But here's the thing, if he rocks him and then doesn't get the finish but like get some licks in and then the odds swing, I would pepper that live, honestly.
Yeah.
On JSP.
That'd be really interesting.
So, anyways, moving on to the next fight of the night, it's Mick Parkin. Did you ask me about Mick Parkin or say some shit about him earlier?
I probably mentioned.
You said something to me yesterday, like you're a huge Mick Parkin guy or something. Yeah. Listen, I don't mind me some Mick Parkin. He's taking on UFC debutant Caio Machado.
Not Machado Aguirre. It's just Caio Machado.
Yeah, no relation there. Is this her ex man?
Man, I wish. That'd
be wild. Or is it Mizani?
Should have Manny Machado.
You got him on your fantasy team this year?
I don't know.
I feel like you did.
Maybe. A really good baseball player.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Anyways, Mick Parkin taking on Caio Machado at 265 at heavyweight. This is an interesting fight, man. These are two very big guys. Mick Parkin coming from the UK. I said this last time. I feel like he had one of like the easiest roads to the UFC I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. UK, like more of a boxing kind of like mentality. Fight some cans, get your wins up, and then get in there. He does look pretty good on the feet though. He's like got like a non-heavyweight ass style. He's just like sitting there peppering you on the feet, throwing jabs and shit, and then like just moving out of the way. He doesn't like his fighting style doesn't match how he looks really, but. And I think he also trains with Paul Craig and Tom Aspinall and these guys. He doesn't look super strong, moves really well, though. Caio Machado, for me, just some of the worst striking technique I've ever seen in my life, I would say, when he was on the Contender Series. But he's super goddamn aggressive. So he's going to come out hot as hell. He's going to start swinging absolutely wildly, just like left hook, right hook, pretty much type shit, just swinging. So as long as Mick Parkin can stay out of the way of that, I do see him winning this, just kind of peppering him. I don't really see a finish. I mean, it's kind of weird to say that about a heavyweight fight, especially where I do expect it to stay on the feet. Caio Machado's probably best bet is to get it to the ground, but Mick Parkin, from what I've seen on the regional scene, is actually a pretty good wrestler. So I don't know that he has a huge advantage there. For me, I think Mick Parkin's just going to pepper him and get a decision win.
Cool. To me, there's not too much difference. I believe more in Mick Parkin than I do with Machado. I think the odds are a little bit wild for a heavyweight.
What are the odds on this? I haven't seen odds on anyone.
I think it was like I think he was like a 300. I think it was like a minus 300 when I checked. It was something crazy.
Damn.
I think he does prove the odds makers right here and ends up winning this fight by exactly what you said, being the more technical guy, right?
Yeah.
I do believe more in him. I feel like Mick Parkin's eventually...
He's a pretty put him up kind of ass guy, like, you know what I mean? Oh, come on, she, like, and just like gets out the way and shit.
I'm down. So I do think Mick Parkin's going to find a finish here. I'm going TKO round 2. I want to say one more thing, though. Machado, for what it's worth, not a guy that utilizes all the size that he could use. He comes in weighing in at like 250.
Yeah, no, Mick Parkin's going to be...
Mick Parkin's a 265 guy.
That's cutting.
Like, yeah, he's at the limit, right?
So he's going to be probably 30 pounds heavier in there, I feel like.
Shit, that's a lot.
Come fight night.
It's a lot, but...
It is. This is a big man.
So I'm going TKO round 2.
All right. What's up?
I like what you're pulling up.
Anyway, we've got the next fight of the night. We've got Lucie Pudilova taking on Ailin Perez at women's 135. This is a terrible fight. It's just not a good fight, So, but please, let me know. All
right, Lucie Pudilova, let's start there. Striker. She actually has some serious power for the weight class.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, for the weight class. That's why they have those adjectives in there describing.
I feel that. I respect that.
She has it for this, not necessarily in general.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's not too active on the feet, but again, the power's okay. Takedowns are solid. She's 4-5 in the UFC. What are you doing over there?
Nothing.
She's 4-5 in the UFC, so her record isn't great, but she does have a sus decision loss in there. She's also lost 2 fights against girls who are like way out of her league. You know what I'm saying? Levels ahead of her. You're really distracting me with that. Anyways, she is fighting Ailin Perez. She's the girl that twerks all the time, as we know.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
There it is. Good grappler, good cardio.
She's built right, brother.
There it is.
She's built sturdy.
Sturdy? How many C's?
Like 5 THs and like 3 C's.
Okay, I like that. On the feet, she's just kind of meh. She uses decent technique to kind of mask that stuff, though. It's very like robotic. Can't mask that ass, though. Hey, there it is. She wants to fight on the ground when she gets there. She has, you said 4 T's and 3 C's or something? So she does an okay job with controlling on the ground because of that.
Yep.
But she gets...
Oh, you think she got like a good center of gravity?
Yes. Yeah. But, she gets wild as shit on the ground. She starts flailing around and like throwing that everywhere. I don't know what she's doing.
I'm trying to guess how I'm trying to be, to be honest with you.
I feel that. She is violent on the ground. I feel like Perez is just going to be too much here. Mm-hmm. So I do think she's going to win. And then I think we get a pretty damn dominant decision. Mm-hmm. And we get some good old-fashioned twerking.
You think a pretty dominant decision for Perez?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then she's Argentinian?
Yes.
And some good old Argentinian twerking.
She's going hard, brother.
Let's go.
This is just, to me, it's not a very good fight. Pudilova, very forgettable. Ailin Perez, I really don't think she's all that good. Does she have an OnlyFans?
No.
You don't know that.
No,
Look that up for me.
I looked into it.
Stop, you did?
Yeah. Damn. My research, she be doing some crazy shit on Instagram.
Man.
So I don't know. Maybe she does. I was looking for stuff.
No, I'm just going to follow her on Instagram, if anything, first. But yeah, while I'm doing that,
while he's doing that on Instagram, y'all can follow us at V107MMA on Instagram.
She does have an OnlyFans, bro.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay. I was looking for that kind of content.
That's crazy. Well,
I might have to check that out
later. Yeah. Anyways, Pudilova, she's coming off a close fight. I thought she might have won that versus Jocelyn Edwards. Pudilova, just other than that, I think that was like her best performance, weirdly enough, even though it was a loss. Mm-hmm. Ailin Perez, man, I don't know. I just don't think she's all that good. I don't think either of these girls are really all that good. I can't possibly pretend to know what the hell's going to happen here. Mm-hmm. I hope Ailin Perez wins because I don't think she'll be like sad twerking it. Yeah, but if she does, that's like really nice fan service too. Mm-hmm. So respect to her. But I'm gonna go Lucie Pudilova in just a terrible fight on the ground and decision.
Okay, so you're thinking we're getting no twerk.
Man, I hate to be the guy that's like, I'm certainly not like trying to bring that upon us.
Right.
But man, probably.
Okay, I mean that's fair. There is also this needs to be thrown out there. The disclaimer of a lot of these OnlyFans girls lose all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like they lose all the time.
It's probably hard to get motivated to fight when you're making, like, 6 times the money that you are going to make to get punched in the face to just, like, throw that ass back. You make, like, 6 times that in a month.
Just throw that ass in a circle.
Whatever shape you want, honestly, but,
You're just down for whatever.
Yeah. Like she probably knows, like, what shape is most aesthetic for her. Mm-hmm.
You think it depends on the body?
Damn, you think, like, they be making shapes when they do it?
I don't know. I haven't really looked into it.
I haven't, but I might have to now. I might have to do some research.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Food for thought.
Something to think about for sure. Moving on to the next fight of the night, we've got Nicholas Mota taking on Trey Ogden. This is another interesting fight, man. But for me, the difference really is the fact that Nicholas Mota seems to have a distinct weakness in his game, and it's the ground game. And Trey Ogden's a pretty good wrestler. I've seen him use it more on the regional scene. I haven't seen him use a ton of it in the UFC, but man, he surprised me a little bit, Trey Ogden, with some of the people that he's taken in close fights or some of the wins that he's gotten. So, yeah, I mean, can he get knocked out? Sure, but we've seen him take on dangerous strikers already. I'm going to go Trey Ogden by sub in the second round here.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm also going with Trey Ogden. I think he works the takedowns in early and often. I think he finds a way to win this fight. I don't know if it's by sub or decision, but I'll stick with decision, but a sub is a real possibility.
Decision certainly possible.
I just want to say, for Mota, he is really explosive and athletic, and he does have a really fun style. He's just another guy that, he's inconsistent. I feel like that's a big theme on this card.
Yeah.
Fun fighters, really talented fighters, but inconsistency. But yes, I do agree with you, Trey.
But he gets outstruck too, you know?
Yeah,
100%. I feel like he's good in bursts,
mm-hmm.
you know, and then really has nothing for the rest of the time. Gets held against the cage, and yeah, I mean,
I'm with it, brother.
You know, he can. I feel like he's the type of guy we can see him finish fighters that we deem better than him,
mm-hmm.
but chances are he'll probably just lose. It's even potentially fighters that are worse than him on paper. So, anyways, moving on to the next fight of the night, and is this one confirmed?
Yeah,
it is. Okay,
mm-hmm.
We've got Uroš Medic versus Miktibek Orolbai.
Yeah,
what do you think about this guy? This guy is a trip, bro. He's 25 years old.
Yeah,
he looks about 37.
Yeah, he's a trip for sure. Let's start with Uroš Medic. He was the one that was originally supposed to be in this fight. Of course, Orolbai is the short notice replacement. Anyways, Uroš Medic, he was supposed to fight Johnny Parsons. That would have been a really, really fun fight. I like the style matchup there.
Yes.
Johnny Parsons, little thick, just Muay Thai dude.
Yeah, I feel like Medic probably would have got him though, knocked him out.
I agree. I think it would have been a pretty easy fight for Medic. Anyways, Uroš Medic is a finisher, man. The only loss in his career is to our boy Jalen Turner, the Tarantula. 2 wins in a row after that. He's rebounded pretty damn well. He beat Omar Morales and Semi the Jedi, 2 very dangerous fighters, and in their own ways.
Absolutely,
I like Medic. There is definitely some.
And he got dropped twice by Semmelsberger.
Yeah,
in the first round, I want to say.
Well, we know Semmelsberger has stupid power,
and then just doesn't get that many finishes.
Another inconsistent guy. He's not on this card, but
I feel like he's probably on the next one or something. He's got to be coming up soon.
He's coming up at some point. Anyways, I think there's flaws in Uroš Medic's game. He is pretty legit, and he does seem to be improving. I think the changing of weights was the right move.
It was definitely the right move. I have that written down too.
Now he's taking on Miktibek Orolbai. He's 3-0. He was 3-0 in the LFA.
I just want to say that jumps to one of the wildest names in the UFC roster.
And his nickname's like Ulu or something like that, which is more insane.
That's cute. I like that kind of.
Anyways, dude is in the LFA. He was in the LFA. He was 3-0 in the LFA. I was actually watching his last fight live against Hayward Charles. He absolutely flatlined the shit out of him with the uppercut.
Yeah, it was violent. Dude. That dude had he had a fro too, so
yeah,
he was straight looking down, and when he got knocked out, the fro
it was looking bad looking. Yeah, it was really bad looking. He's a good striker. He obviously
just want to say, I'm sorry. Yeah, he was I'm fucking minus 1,700 favorite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He has serious power, as we saw with that punch, and we've seen a few times in his career. From what I've seen, he also has really good grappling. I saw a fight against a guy named Jalen Fuller. He was wrestling the shit out of that guy. He wrote out a decision just by wrestle fudging him, so he does have that in his back pocket as well.
Yeah,
he seems legit.
He looks is he Dagestani?
He's from Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from Kyrgyzstan. Yeah. Anyway, so he's fought. It's weird because he has some guys on his resume with good records, and then some cans. Like, it's like a 50-50 split of like, oh, this guy seems decent, and then like just dog shit guys.
Yeah.
You don't really know, I guess, until you're in the UFC, but we'll see. I think it would behoove him to take this fight to the ground.
No question.
Because I think on the feet, it's hella risky. Medic does have real power. 2 things to note. Earlby has had trouble with missing weight a couple times in his career.
Yep.
And he's taking this fight on short notice. Those 2 things combined is not a good recipe, right? Because I feel like he's going to miss weight. You're taking this on 4 days notice and you like chronically don't make 170.
Yep.
That's a problem. Anyways, having said that, I think this fight goes one of 2 ways. I think it's Medic by KO.
Yes.
Or I think this guy wins by decision via WrestleFudge. Or by decision is what I'm picking. I'm trusting the newcomer.
Man, that is very interesting. Yeah, you pretty much broke it down. This is a classic, very like classic striker versus grappler. I know that we've seen Earlby get that crazy knockout, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't look all that great on the feet, technically, to me, to be quite honest with you. He doesn't look like he has some crazy power either. I don't know. I mean, I think Uroš Medic should have more power. Overall, on the striking, I think it's heavily in Uroš Medic's favor. Yeah. I just want to say I was too low on him. I think he's better than I thought he was.
Medic?
Yeah.
He's legit, man.
Yeah, generally speaking. But this is tough, man. This is tough. We've seen him get taken down, and I mean, this guy looks like a really legit, like that region of the world wrestler. Like, and you know, is he going to be able to? He's taking it on like 10 days. No, he just fought like 2 weeks ago. I want to say.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago.
So you know, he is cutting weight now again. So, and he's had issues cutting weight. So, is he even going to make it? We'll see. But this is tough, man. This is tough. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Earlby as well, man. I think it's not a great matchup. Credit to Uroš Medic for not backing out or, you know, just taking a later fight or something and just actually taking this guy on. Could he get the knockout? Absolutely. I'm certainly not betting this one.
2 more things I want to say. Uroš Medic, in a situation here, you're giving him credit, you know, for continuing to take the fight or whatever. One thing to note here is, like, it's really like you have nothing to gain if you're Uroš Medic.
Nothing to gain.
You know what I mean? So
you're just going to put this guy over with, like, whatever little hype that you have right now.
So even if you win, I'm saying you have nothing. Like there's nothing to gain.
People are gonna be like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah, so you just beat some dude on short notice from Kyrgyzstan. Like, and then the other thing, I'm looking at his picture on Tapology. This guy, he has a cool hat. Doesn't it trip you out that like they all got their own hats?
Like a country hat, bro.
Yeah, it's a trip.
That's pretty sick. I wish we had.
It was like America
hat. This is probably literally
like a baseball hat.
We're the only people in the world that wear baseball hats. Europeans hate it.
Yeah, 100%. But then
what do they want me to fucking wear?
No,
want me to wear like a little fucking top hat?
I don't like that. You know why? Because they jog our swag. How famous is the Yankee hat? Extreme. You see that shit everywhere, bro. In Europe, they're sitting there rocking Yankee hats and shit. Like, fuck you.
Yeah,
don't come at us.
What if should we start rocking like little French ass hats?
No. Did you go out there? What are those guys that guard the fucking palace?
Damn, you know, the Marge Simpson ass hats.
Yeah, let's get those.
Let's do it.
Come on.
Come on. All right, we'll just wrap it up. We gotta go. Anyway, moving on to the next fight of the night, we've got Amanda Ribas.
Fight Your Pass, baby.
The originator of Fight Your Pass. We have her taking on the cheating ass lady, Luana Pinheiro. Cheating ass lady on my life.
Okay.
Just if you've seen it, you've seen it.
And if you haven't, then believe him.
Yeah, because her ass, I forgot who she was fighting. Was it Michelle Waterson?
The Karate Hottie.
Was it?
I believe so.
Where she pretended to like be hurt.
Is that wrong?
That's just awful, dude. For me, that says so much about you as a fighter, and like just you want the easy way out. She's really hot. Don't get me wrong.
No, that was against Randa Marcos.
That was against Randa Marcos. Yeah. Thank you. And Randa Marcos, poor lady, was like crying and shit. Like
that was bogus as fuck.
That was so bogus, dude.
Yeah.
I really, really hated that. Like it, like stirred up. Like I felt like something in my stomach. Like I hated that. And like seeing this lady like cry about it. Like I really hated that.
That whole card really sticks out to me. I think I've mentioned this before. I was in Arizona that weekend.
Yeah.
It was Aguirre versus Dominic Reyes. Marab was on the card, and I just remember watching that at an Airbnb in Arizona and just being like, this fucking liar.
Lying ass lady, dude. So, yeah. And then to me, I mean, she lost to the Karate Hottie, right? They gave her the win for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
She had a split decision against the Karate Hottie.
That was such a...
The Randa Marcos was the disqualification.
And then, like, okay, you beat Sam Hughes.
Right.
Like, so, to me, this is... like, Amanda Ribas, we can't forget. Like, it wasn't that long ago. She was literally just fighting, like, the very top of the division. Mm-hmm. And, like, putting up a decent fight against many of them. So, for me, this is a a big skill difference, like a vast skill difference. Luana Pinheiro, very good looking. I think that's really her only advantage here. This is a big time mismatch to me, to be quite honest with you. What are the odds on this one?
We'll see. We have
plus 200 for Pinheiro.
Plus 200.
Minus 245. Honestly, that feels right to me.
Yeah.
So I will say by decision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes Ribas is a little bit inconsistent, but yeah, I'm gonna say a fairly easy decision. 30-27.
I think this fight is a little closer than you're probably making it out to seem. But I do agree. I believe that Amanda Ribas is the better fighter.
Maybe
overall.
I'm just biased because I just don't have any respect for, like, you cheated, you won a fake ass decision, pretended like you just like crushed it. Like, I don't know.
Right, just too much for you. I get that. Another thing that Amanda Ribas has going in her favor here is the fact that she's coming back down to 115. She's going to be naturally a little bit bigger and stronger, I assume. Pinheiro, I guess there's a possibility that she gets a finish, but if that doesn't happen, I have to assume Amanda Ribas kind of wins this fight pretty dominantly. I'm going Ribas by decision. I think she adjusts from her last fight. She got into a brawl last time out against Macy Gaethje.
Yeah, I did not expect that at all, by the way.
No,
at all. I lost some money on that fight, but I just genuinely was more shocked than anything.
Yeah, but Amanda Ribas, she seems smart. She seems like the kind of fighter that's going to adjust. The only thing is, man, she's been win-loss since 2020.
She's due for one. So
she's due for a little bit of a streak, but also she lost her last fight, so maybe we just continue the win-loss thing. I do think she's going to win this fight.
That would be a crazy, for me, a mental drop of like, oh shit, I thought this lady was like actually decent.
Yeah.
To like, you're garbage.
No, I feel that. I just also want to say Amanda Ribas looks like, and when she talks and she's like all happy and shit, she looks like the nicest person ever.
She looks so nice.
She looks like, wow, like what a bubbly ass chick.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the next fight, it's Payton Talbott. He just fought on the Contender Series.
Good name.
That is a cool name. He's got a look to him, that's for sure. He's taking on Nick Aguirre at 135. What do you think about this one?
I think it's Nick Aguirre, which is insane.
Aguirre?
I think it's Aguirre, which is insane.
That can't be.
I'm pretty sure.
Hate that.
Anyways, the odds on this minus 670 for Talbot.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely insane.
That's nuts, but man, I
throw that to the side.
This is a gimme.
Yeah,
they liked what he did and how he recovered on the Contender Series. Mm-hmm. They're like, this guy's got something to him. Let's throw him this guy. He's stepping in on short notice, too, for what it's worth. I'm sure Nick Aguirre is doing these guys a favor.
Yeah, so anyways, I just want to say minus 670 is a little wild for a dude making his debut. Anyways, like you said, from Dancing with the Stars, I've been on record, I've said that I did not like this season of Dana White's Contender Series.
Yes.
I don't believe too much in the talent that came out of it, but this kid, Payton Talbot, he's 25 years old.
He's probably the best one of this season.
Dude, he's 25 years old. He didn't have the best performance in the show, but the dude has
He recovered really well, though, man.
Yes, and he also has everything to be a star, right? He's got the look. He's got, like, the curly-ass hair. He has the real-ass power. He kind of gives off, like, a Sean O'Malley goofy-ass, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gives off a little bit of that. Dude's young. He's flashy. He's got the look. He's got the style, man. I think he's dangerous. He's really damn dangerous, and that's what we've seen. The only thing that is like a little bit of a hole in his game is the grappling. He needs to fix that up for sure. If you want to,
he's got time.
He's got a lot of time at 25. That and the lack of experience are the two things that are making me.
But his striking looks
phenomenal.
Advanced.
It's very advanced,
and it's unbelievably technical.
Yeah.
His straight is his 1-2. His straight in general is a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
It's gorgeous on the feet. Absolutely gorgeous on the feet.
It's literally textbook.
Fix the grappling and get some experience. He's only 25. Once he gets that, this dude could be legit. Anyways, Nick Aguirre lost his debut in the UFC against Dan Argueta.
You gotta be careful with that name.
Hey. Before that, he was undefeated. He fought a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah.
So it's weird. You look, it's 1-1 guys, 0-2 guys making their debut.
Yes.
And that's how you get to the UFC.
Yep.
And dude was undefeated, but whatever. It's impressive to get finishes against those guys. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But whatever. He hasn't really fought great comp. He is a good grappler. He has good wrestling. He's solid on the feet. He is beyond mediocre.
Very.
To me, this is a simple striker versus grappler. I just got to figure that through 15 minutes. Payton Talbot will find the chin at some point.
He's going to.
And he's going to knock this dude out. He's legit. I think the UFC, like you said, is trying to build a star here. This kid, Payton Talbott, this is a name to remember.
Yes.
This kid has real potential.
Otherwise.
Yeah, real potential in the future.
Agreed. Yeah, those punches, not only are they perfect, they're stiff. He's got some like
he's got a whack ass tattoo though.
Like the circle?
Yeah, it's just like a circle shaded in. Like it looks like some shit you do in the video game. Like you're just like trying to make something. It's like fuck it, just leave it there. Just a circle, just like a colored circle.
It is. You're right. I noticed that too. But yeah, this is a massive mismatch. I don't know about minus 670. I don't know that any fight should ever be, especially what we've learned this year and the last few months alone. Not to get into it, I just don't think maybe any fight ever in the UFC should be those kind of odds. But I get it. I really do understand it. I do think he gets a first round knockout, like just bad knockout. I think this puts him on the map, and good on Nick for taking the fight, on very short notice against somebody that's dangerous, really dangerous.
Yep.
So, anyway, moving on to the next fight.
I fucking love this.
Yeah, this is a great fight, man. This is it's got high entertainment value.
It's unreal.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's Jordan Leavitt taking on Chase Hooper.
I love the matchmaking, right?
They knew what they were doing here.
Yeah.
You know that they
it's literally perfect. By the way, Jordan Leavitt's interview today, it was media day. Fucking hilarious. If you haven't seen that, go watch it.
Okay.
Dude's really funny, and then we know Chase Hooper's like this nerd. He looks like a geek. Right? And these two are fun as hell. I love the matchmaking. And like you said, I think this could be really damn entertaining. And I also had this thought process of this might be one of the funniest What Are They drinks.
Oh my God.
This stuck out to me.
Wow. Chase Hooper doesn't drink, dude.
You don't think he drinks?
He's barely old enough. But I don't think so, man.
Dude's drinking communion wine.
He's drinking milk and cookies, ass guy.
Fire.
Milk
and cookies. Okay. Hell yeah.
I'm going to drink a big glass of milk.
Damn. Kurt Angle. Shout out Kurt Angle again.
Damn. I'm so glad for the dual Kurt Angle shout out. But yeah, this is
Jordan Leavitt. What does Jordan Leavitt drink?
Jordan Leavitt. Man.
I feel like Jordan Leavitt indulges.
He has a nice Chardonnay.
Okay, so you think he's a wine guy?
I think he sits with his legs crossed and
okay.
Has a glass of wine like this.
That's fire.
Holding it like this.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I like it.
I
like it.
We have, I just realized, 2 twerkers.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
We have 2 twerkers on this card.
We might get 2 twerks.
They should do a thing together.
They should fight. That'd be fire.
Damn. All right. I'd rather see him wrestle, if anything.
Let's go.
But, yeah, this is a interesting fight, man. Jordan Leavitt, super awkward, super weird, just in terms of how he moves and the strikes that he throws. I feel like his striking has definitely gotten better over the last few years, let's say.
Leavitt?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hooper, too, honestly.
Yeah.
And I do think that the move up to lightweight is an interesting one for him. Mm-hmm. He seems to have filled out, muscle-wise a little bit. We saw him, trying to go for the finish in his last fight, and just throwing some hands.
He's been working with Wonder Boy.
Right.
So that's,
100%. That's huge. He doesn't have a lot of power at all, though. Mm-hmm. At all. Even with the filled-out frame. So I like the move to 155 so far. Let's see how he does. I just think Jordan Leavitt is potentially the better wrestler to me. And I do think that he's better on the feet, too. So I'm going to take the underdog in this one, man. I'm going to say Jordan Leavitt by... I guess I'll say by decision.
Yeah.
We'll see. I feel like Hooper is still pretty hittable. Doesn't have the best... Doesn't like to get hit.
Yeah. Really.
So... Leavitt kind of gets it done, man. And he's got some decent wins on his record. So I'm going to go with Leavitt.
I want to say this. I swear Jordan Leavitt is not as bad as some people think he is. I think he's actually good.
He's plus 200 in this, dude. I will take that all day.
I think he's actually good. We saw him get a knockout last time. And if you remember...
And those knees up the middle and the clinch, he loves those. And those are brutal.
And it was his first career knockout. If you remember, I bet Jordan Leavitt by knockout.
You did.
Which was amazing.
That was one of your better hits of the year, I would say.
That was unreal. Anyways, I do agree. I do think he is the better wrestler. I do want to compliment Chase Hooper. The striking has improved vastly, man. The hand combinations he's throwing, they look nicer. The kick game has really improved working with Wonder Boy.
100%.
The only thing is...
Nick Fury is not.
I
good
get
on the
it.
feet.
No, I get it, but I'm just talking about strictly like how his striking looked. It's improved.
Yes.
But it still doesn't look natural to him. Like, this is something that is completely not natural for the kid.
Definitely.
And he's working on it. Really
he's
funny.
He's no Sean O'Malley.
No, absolutely not. Really funny story. When I met him, I was talking to him. He fought my cousin's best friend in Daniel Tamer.
Uh-huh.
Daniel Tamer, my cousin, best friends from Sweden and all that. I was like, dude, you actually fought my cousin's best friend and like you beat his ass. And he's like, oh, who's that? I was like, Daniel Tamer. He's like, I'm sorry. I was like, fam, don't apologize to
sorry.
me. Like, it's, that's your job. Like,
I'm sorry.
It's all good. Anyways, two fun dudes. I do agree with you. I'm also taking Leavitt by decision. I think he's just a better fighter than Chase Hooper.
Yeah, I think so too.
He looked good against Patty.
He looked great against Patty.
You know what I'm saying? Until he got caught with those knees or whatever. Like, yeah, I'm trusting Jordan Leavitt. He said this week, he goes, if Sean Strickland can do it, why can't I?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Because they train together.
Yeah.
And by the way,
what an odd couple.
I was just gonna say I need more insight into that relationship. I need like a camera to follow them around.
Sean Strickland does the podcast with Chris Curtis.
I need another one.
We need Sean Strickland and Jordan Leavitt would be the funniest fucking podcast.
I need to see Jordan Leavitt just acting sus around Sean Strickland constantly, please. Anyway, moving on to the co-main event, we've got Jake Matthews. Man, I really like Jake Matthews.
Yeah. And
he's taking on super dangerous up-and-coming prospect at 170, Michael Morales. What do you think about this one?
Let's start with Jake Matthews. I like Jake Matthews a lot as well. He's well-rounded, man. He's a good striker, good grappler. I like his combos. There's legitimately nothing in his game that isn't to like.
Yeah.
Everything is good. He's well-rounded, but again, like earlier, like the theme of this card, inconsistency, man.
So inconsistent.
Sometimes he looks great.
I thought when he knocked out Fiallo, I was like,
that's it. That was a turnaround.
This guy looked unbelievable.
Wasn't that on this card, in the Singapore card with Yuri and Glover? I think it was on that card. But anyways.
Yeah, it was.
Regardless, sometimes he looks phenomenal. He looks like a world beater, and then other times it's like, man, he can't get right. So, anyways, he's 12-6 in the promotion. 18 fights. This is his 19th fight in the UFC.
That's unbelievable. That is insane.
It's wild as hell to think about.
That's insane.
He's taking on someone who's similar to him, a guy that came in young. He's been in the UFC for 9 years, Dino.
That is nuts, dude.
He was Michael Morales.
He literally was.
He came in at 20.
Yep.
He was undefeated.
I don't think he came in with the striking acumen.
Not the hype or maybe the skill set, but an undefeated kid that came in really young. Anyways, Michael Morales, 24 years old, undefeated, 15-0. Is he an R boy?
Man, I wouldn't say just yet.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing prospect. There's no question. One of the better prospects in the promotion, I would say.
Probably
top 5 as of now for me.
You think
in the promotion?
We've been having this conversation.
We should do a top 5 prospects like every month or something.
We'll do it.
That sounds fun, honestly.
I like it.
Yeah,
I'm down. We've been talking a lot recently about like the undefeated guys in the UFC.
Yep.
Where do you think he ranks as far as the undefeated guys?
I was thinking about that earlier. That's crazy that you asked that.
Yeah.
I think he's up there, man.
Yeah, he's really up there.
I think he's up there. This will be a good benchmark kind of fight for him.
It's a great, I agree. This is a great test.
Because I don't dislike Jake Matthews in this fight. It's just like,
yeah. I want to say this. So, national champion, by the way, Michael Morales, in 2 sports, in wrestling and in Muay Thai.
Right, that's unbelievable.
That's impressive.
That is unbelievable, dude.
He's also a judoka. I think his family comes from like a judo background. Yeah. So think about that. He's been doing judo since he was a child. He's a national champion in 2 other sports.
That's a different kind of like I wish I did that, right? I wish my dad put me in whatever, or pushed me to do something. That's crazy, dude. And to be not just one-dimensional in that regard, but like it's like when you start teaching kids languages, they pick it up so much quicker. Dude, this is like second nature to him at this point.
Yeah.
So
he's well-rounded, man. I think he has a serious future. I'll put it this way. I'm a believer in Michael Morales. I love Jake Matthews. I believe in Jake Matthews as well. I think there is a route to victory in this, but the future looks too bright for me for Michael Morales. I think it'll be a tough fight. I think he wins a decision in this one against a guy, Dino, that has 20 UFC fights. That would be damn impressive, man. Yeah. After this fight, if he does win this fight, Michael Morales, I think we can start looking at maybe one more and then the rankings. Yeah, I know it might sound like it's early, but you're beating Jake Matthews, man. You deserve a crack at the rankings.
If he wins convincingly, especially,
I would say give one more.
No, for sure, one more. That's what I said. I like what you proposed, honestly.
Also, we have a picture with him on Instagram.
That's right,
I have a picture with him on Instagram.
Yep.
You also check it out.
Yeah, check that out for sure. Yeah, look, Jake Matthews is technically a wrestler. Mm-hmm. Michael Morales is pretty good. Jake Matthews may have the advantage, to be honest with you, because I do feel like Michael Morales does, at this point, I feel like he's really stepped into his own as a striker. That's his thing. That's what he's going to really try to use. And Jake Matthews is a little bit one-dimensional on the feet. He's mostly with the hands. He doesn't throw a ton of kicks, right? Mm-hmm. So, much wider array of strikes for Michael Morales. Jake Matthews, man, we've seen the chin tested too. So, yeah, I think Michael Morales actually does end up finding a knockout in this one. I'm gonna say in the second round, knockout for him, which I would hate to see, to be honest. I would love to see both of these guys win. Like, it's one of those where I really do like both guys. But yeah, like you said, for now, Michael Morales, I'm certainly a believer unless he proves me otherwise. He's super well-rounded. He's super young. He's got good power, great length for the division. I mean, he's an exciting prospect. There's no question about it.
I also, for what it's worth, I hate seeing, like, someone that I like, a fighter that I like, I hate seeing their O go. Yeah. Because, obviously, from that point, your career can go in one of two directions, right? Sometimes it goes downhill for, like, these prospects that you think are like, unreal. They lose that fight, and they just never are able to recover. And then, obviously, a good amount of them do recover. But
it's always exciting, too, when you're that young, number one. But when you're that young, too, it's like, how much have you been tested, really? Yeah. So, we've seen him kind of tested, right?
Trevin Giles, Adam Fugit, Max Griffin.
I mean, the Max Griffin fight was pretty close, actually. Yeah. We'll see. I do see some holes in his game, right? But, man, for now, he's one of the better prospects in the UFC. If he wins this fight and then wins the next one, if he's going against a ranked opponent with an O, that's damn impressive. I'll be very impressed by that.
Yeah.
So, moving on to to the main event of the evening, and it's an absolute my boy, and Brendan Allen is.
Yeah, I love Brendan Allen.
Yeah, I mean, he's amazing.
Also got a picture with him on the gram.
I saw you posted that. He's awesome, man, and he's taking on just a beast of a man, Paul Craig. Yeah, I mean, what do you think about this one?
Okay, as far as Paul Craig's concerned, we know what Paul Craig is, right? He's the jiu-jitsu guy. He's that grappler. He's dangerous as hell on the ground. That's really it. He does look a lot better since moving down to middleweight. He's 1-0 now in middleweight, correct?
1-0.
1-0 at middleweight.
Okay, he beat Muniz.
Yeah, he beat Andre Muniz. This looks like the weight class for him. But still, man, to me, on the feet, it's like, yeah, there's some power there, but like not really.
And maybe less now.
Maybe less now since he's cutting some weight. I mean, he has a win over Jamal Hill. He has a win over Magomed Ankalaev.
Yeah, but the Jamal Hill win.
They're both fluky. Yeah. Both of those wins are fluky. But that's who Paul Craig is.
No, absolutely.
He's the guy that, like, he's never out of a fight. If he's on the ground, you might be fucked.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Brendan Allen for me is he started as a jiu-jitsu guy. He kind of fell in love with his hands. I think he's starting to find a really, really good balance in terms of the stand-up and the ground game.
Yep.
He's not one of those guys that just fell in love with his hands. He's 10-2 in the UFC.
That's unbelievable.
Really, really impressive.
Listen to some of the people that he's got wins over. Bruno Silva last time out, finished him in the first round via choke. He beat Andre Muniz, finished him with a choke. He loves the rear naked choke, obviously. Yeah. Christoph Jotko, Jacob Malkoun, Sam Alvey before he was like completely exposed.
Yeah.
Chris Curtis, he lost to him. I mean, that was his last loss, and Chris Curtis is obviously really good.
Yeah.
And shit, I mean, you get knocked out, you get knocked out. It is what it is. He has a win over Pinelli Siriano, Carl Roberson. His losses are to Sean Strickland and Chris Curtis.
Yeah, he's beaten Kevin Holland.
And he's beaten Kevin Holland, Kyle Dawkins.
Yeah.
I mean, these are solid names. You know what I mean? So, super impressive record. And I do think that right now we're seeing the best version of him for sure.
And what's interesting, all of his losses, Dino, every single loss that he's had, even before coming to the UFC, is all to UFC fighters.
I saw that
so he's
too.
only losing to like the cream of the crop. He is on a 5 or 6 fight winning streak right now. I think Brendan Allen's hitting his stride right now.
He's on a 6 fight winning streak.
6 fight win streak.
Sorry, 5.
I think he's hitting his stride right now.
Yep.
I don't know what the ceiling is for Brendan Allen. I believe there is a ceiling. I don't know that he'll be a champion. I don't think he will.
Yeah.
But I think this is not the ceiling yet. I think if this fight stays on the feet, he has a huge advantage. The fight's not going to get to the ground unless he wants it to get to the ground.
Right.
Paul Craig can't take you down And if Brendan Allen shoots for a takedown, then you're playing with fire.
Yeah.
I know he's a good jiu-jitsu guy. Anyways, having said that, I'm going Brendan Allen. I think he finds a knockout in this.
Yep.
3rd round.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, great breakdown. It's for me, I can't pick against Brendan Allen. For me, I would say in the middleweight division, if there's a guy that I'm rooting for, it's Brendan Allen. So
he stood with Bruno Silva, who gave Alex Pereira,
he's got
a
big
decent
power
fight on the feet.
My only concern is kind of, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I can segue right into this. My only concern is like he's super confident, and I love that. I think you have to be a fighter, a killer in the cage, right?
Yeah.
But just don't get so confident where you kind of like what you said, like don't end up on the ground in the 1st round.
Yeah.
Like
because your ass wants to be there.
Because you want to be there. You're going to be dry, and this guy's dangerous as hell. I feel like he's strong as shit too, Paul Craig.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, I mean, he's a scary dude, but yeah, man, Brendan Allen, he's definitely better on the feet. The improvement on the feet has been seismic.
Yeah.
For Brendan Allen, I mean, he went from literally being pretty
There it is. Come on, spit it out.
Pretty one-dimensional, pretty well-rounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I really like him. I love his style. I think he's super exciting. He's got a great win streak. He's younger. Yeah, I got to go with him. I'm going to go with 2nd round TKO.
Yeah, so you said 2nd, I said 3rd. We're pretty much in agreement on this whole card.
Oh, shit, are we?
Not the whole thing, but like we agreed on a lot of fights on this card.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of figured we would, to be honest with you. But anyways.
What are the odds? I'm sorry. What are the odds on that one? Just for shits and giggles.
I actually just closed all the odds and shit.
Oh, that's just great.
So if you want to pull that up,
you
can pull that up.
Great.
I got to believe Brendan Allen's a pretty big favorite.
I'm going to guess minus 210.
Yeah, 230. What do we got?
Whoa.
425 is crazy.
That is nuts.
Minus 425 for Brendan Allen. I don't buy that.
Sprinkle Paul Craig.
Sprinkle Paul Craig by submission.
100%.
Absolutely. Anyways, so we agreed a lot. I figured we would on this card. Next week, we do have an off week. There is no UFC next week.
All right.
So there's that. There's also Bellator this weekend, Friday in Chicago.
Yes, good luck to Patricky Pitbull. Absolutely.
Good luck to Patricky, absolutely.
Good luck to Coach Eric.
Captain
Eric, my apologies.
Captain Eric. Coach Jason Stroud, I don't know if he's coming in town. He's like, dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know if he's going to be here or not, but if he's here on
Friday.
Friday.
He is, God bless him. Good luck to him.
That's it. We got a bunch of title fights. Maybe we'll do a little video for those title fights.
I'm down.
Okay, so we'll look out for that.
Let's do that. And
then one more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing. So bye week, off week next week.
Yes.
We come back December 2nd to a great fight night.
Yes.
I think on paper, the best fight night of the year, and you're going to it?
I have fairly solid plans to go to it, let's say.
Fairly
it's not 100%, but yes, that's one of the best fight nights I've seen on paper.
Dude, on paper, Beneil Dariush versus Arman Sarukian,
Yep.
Hooker and Bobby Green, Rob Font versus Absolute My Boy Davison Figueiredo.
That's a crazy fight.
Sean Brady and Gastelum, Punahele Soriano and Dustin Stoltzfus to round out the main card.
Nuts.
Let's check out the prelims really quickly on that.
It's absolutely stacked.
Dude, prelims.
And Mather, if you're watching this, let me know about that, bro.
Shout out Mather. Clay Guida's on the card. Misha Tate's on the card.
Dude, that's what I said. I was kind of excited to see Misha Tate.
That's amazing. Drakkar Close and Joe Selecki's a good fight. Melky Costa's on the card. And
bro,
then, check this out. You ready? Yo girl, Veronica Hardy.
I know.
Versus
I saw
Jamie
that.
Lynn Horth.
I saw that.
Which one's more of a your girl?
Man.
I'm messing with you. I know which one's a yo girl and which one's not.
She's so cute. Good for Dan Hardy.
Dude, that's going to be a phenomenal fight. Do you know anything else to say about this card?
Not a word.
Not one word. Guys, he is DS and I'm Dino Bam Bam. We are the 10-7 MMA. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, let us know who you think's going to win. Also, follow us on Instagram at the 10-7 MMA. You know how I say Yuri follows us?
Yeah.
Well, now Captain Eric follows us.
That's right.
Hey, this thing's growing. This thing's growing.
Yeah, and again, he'll post the outburst video and the others.
Yeah, all that shit's going to be there. Guys, he's DS. I'm Dino Bam Bam. This is D107 MMA. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.